if you're carrying your past with you, you may be able to move forward, but not far, right? It's so vital and so important that you understand core level, intangible things are the priority thing, right? The iceberg money, the iceberg subconscious, the stuff that you can't physically, tangibly see. These things have actually more valuable than the plastic, metal, and wood, the tangible, right? Both of them have value. I'm not trying to take away that the past doesn't have value. I'm just letting you know one has more value than the other. One has greater priority than the other, right? It's important that you guys are aware of who you are and who you want to be and making those two things congruent, right? Frustration comes from when I want to be this person, but I'm far from that person, right? My wants from actually what I currently have. This is the distance between those two things is frustration. And so the more you invest in yourself to making your core values your focal point and making them the thing that you're pursuing, because that is what you can control, right? There's something very empowering and something very liberating when you are doing those things. All right, so this one little 1 minute clip, we're gonna play that.
Workplace conflict can sometimes be difficult to avoid. It can arise in every job, no matter the field of work. Before you can resolve a conflict, you'll want to think about the conflict itself. Listen to your own thoughts and feelings, but also consider why the other person feels the way they do. You may not agree with them, but understanding their point of view can help you to communicate with them more effectively. After considering this, find a time to talk with the other person. It's best to do this in person. Words and feelings can often be misinterpreted over the phone or via text. Before meeting, make sure you're in control of your emotions. Going into it angry or upset will set you up for failure. In the meeting, the first thing you'll want to do is identify the issue and respectfully state your needs. You want to do this without placing any kind of blame on the other person so as not to make them angry. Also, make sure you give them a chance to talk and that you actively listen to them when they do. Once you've both voiced how you feel, try initiating some kind of resolution. Brainstorm some possible solutions, offer a compromise, or try listing pros and cons with the other person. Hopefully, you're able to agree on something, but if not, it's important to keep calm and bring in an unbiased third party if possible. Someone like a supervisor may be able to help clarify and resolve the situation. Conflict can be stressful, but if you keep your emotions in check and approach things with an open mind, finding a solution can be
I wasn't going to say anything. I wasn't going to say anything. I'm the new girl. I'm going to play nice this time. Next time, though. All right. What'd you guys get from that video? Besides that, it looked like your boss.
When he has on his glasses without the face hair.
What did you guys get?
Stay in control. One of the biggest things I got out is even as a leader, sometimes we can overpower someone's thought process by not really letting them have the opportunity to totally speak while we listen before we actually get feedback.
Right. And we're all guilty of that.
Another thing is that it's a really long process before any conversation that you need to center yourself. Like Ron said, now as a management, depending on our power or title or both, we can stir very easily.
Right.
But in order to impact in a positive way, there's a lot of things that go behind the scenes before we actually start the conversation. What I'm trying to say is that you cannot improvise the conversation, because if you improvise a sit down, a lot of things can go wrong.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It is a process, guys. Most things are a process. If you're looking for magical pills, let me tell you something. Take this pill and lose 100 pounds. Get 6-pack abs by taking this magical pill. Make 6 figures by taking this magical pill. Guys, let me tell you something. the most quality, most valuable things take time. Time is valuable. It's like if I invite you over to my house and I say, guys, I'm going to make you this roasted turkey or roast beef. And you see me take this raw turkey and I stick it in the oven. 5 minutes later, I'm like, let's eat. No way. No way. Things take time. Quality meals, quality experiences, quality development take time. Give yourself permission to invest quality time in yourself, right? Any other questions before I start this PowerPoint?
Hey, just one thing that I learned from my office manager.
Okay.
And it took at least a year, Joanna, for her to actually admit this. But text and email, even though we don't text, but email.
Sure.
Right? Depending on your level of authority, your emails can be pretty strong if you're not used to those type of emails. So Joanna told me, she said, Ron, one of the things I hated most was your emails. They were just, right? But now she understands, you know, and the open communication when you said ask a person,
Yes.
hey, how do they feel to be ready? You know, it's just like adult to child, but adult to adult.
Right.
Be ready for the feedback. And I thought that was powerful for her to say. She wouldn't have told me that 6 months ago, but now she feels more comfortable
Right.
with the relationship that, hey, look, he is a person.
Sure.
And I can be myself and express myself without retaliation or without negative feedback from him. So I thought that was good.
That's called a healthy environment to develop. The fact that you made it safe for her to communicate with you. You obviously, your leadership strategy is not a dictatorship where if they come to you, they're going to get cussed out. Because if that was your leadership strategy, she would have not felt safe. Development doesn't happen there. Development happens where we're both honest and transparent. We admit none of us know it all. None of us have it all. None of us can do it all by ourselves, right? We all have blind spots. We need each other. So any other questions before I start this PowerPoint?
Just one last question.
Please.
What do you think, so far as helping a team, what do you think is the biggest contributor for folks not wanting to do the in-person? So, you know, we as leaders always say we have an open door policy.
Sure.
And like, come talk to me, but people don't talk to you.
Sure.
You know, what would you say to the team to help folks that may be in their silo of not doing the in-person thing, but rather talk through someone else or just send a text or an email instead of just having an adult conversation?
The human anatomy, the human experience is such a sophisticated equation. There's so many moving parts. A lot of people are not giving themselves permission to move forward. A lot of people are stuck in their trauma. They're stuck in their past. And I call it the I disease: insecurity, immaturity, and ignorance. They're so internalizing such negative thoughts and negative experiences they've not let go. So in their mind, they literally talk themselves out of building a relationship with someone else or doing something new or getting out of their comfort zone. They're self-sabotaging, and that, again, that conquering, that defeat is happening from within. The solution to that problem, the solution to the I disease is to use my core values that I use, what helps me: humility, integrity, maturity. Leaders initiate. That's the difference, right? We're all leaders. We're all in authority. We're all under authority, right? But the main characteristic of a quality leader is they initiate humility, integrity, and maturity. They initiate the uncomfortable, honest conversation. They'll go forward first and say, listen, do you know, this is something that I have a challenge that I struggle with. And they sow that seed of transparency and hoping that it's going to produce something, right? And then they come back the next day and they ask questions like, so what are you into? What's your hobbies? Some people their cup is such on a negative or an empty level, they have nothing to give. They have nothing to, they feel worthy of. And it is a feeling, okay? Feelings have value, but feelings should not be your driving force. Feelings should be like if you had like a truck and a trailer, it should be the trailer. Okay? Most people are being driven by their feelings, and that's why they're not going anywhere. That's why they're not developing. You're supposed to be driven by your focus, and your focus is just a choice. You can choose right now to focus on your past, or you can focus on the solution. And being laser focused and solution driven, this will get you so out of your complacency, your comfort zone. It will take you to the next level. And what happens is success is attracted to success. When someone is doing something successful, everyone's like, wow. It attracts people, even people with eye disease. And here's the reality. In some area in our life, we have an eye disease. We have a blind spot, right? We have a self-centered, self-sabotaging side of us that needs to be addressed and adjusted, also known as being replaced. We need to exchange it to be changed. And that starts with a choice. It's not something that necessarily has to take so many years. It's about understanding, who do I want to be? What do I want? Seeing the bigger picture. Now reverse engineering that. Reverse engineering that. So you got to give yourself permission, guys, to focus on what you really want and who you really want to be. It starts there. I know some people are like, it starts with the why. For me, I'm the who girl. It starts with the who. Who do you want to be? Who do you want people, how do you want people to describe you, or who you were when they were in your circle of influence? If you start there and you build your identity up, and that does take investment. It does take time, you know? And here's the reality. No matter where you go, you're still the common denominator, right? I had to make that acknowledgement in all of my bad relationships. I was the common denominator, right? I've gotten my heart broken. I've broken lots of hearts, right? But I was still the common denominator. And I had to come to a place and realize, there's areas here I need to replace. I need to develop. I need to mature, right? To attract a level of success, right? But I have to become that to attract that, right? We're attracting what we are, guys, right? So I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, I just wanted to just kind of hear it from a different perspective.
It is a choice.
And you said about feelings. Nowadays, with even more, I want to bring it on the workplace. It's the toughest challenge for a leader or managers to handle feelings, because now there's a huge gap right now. And this is for leadership, all of you guys as well, and gals. Like I say, that nowadays the millennials, they're all about their feelings. They're all about their feelings.
No, I'm not.
And the more seasoned people,
Sure.
they suppress
Sure.
their feelings.
Sure.
But that doesn't mean they're not there.
Right.
And a lot of times it's difficult how to channel one group and how to deal with another group.
Sure.
That just because they are ignoring their feelings doesn't mean it's not there. They're there. And that's part of their personality.
And a training, right?
Yes.
It does boil down to training. How have we been training our feelings, right? What drives your feelings, guys? We talked about it last session. Your focus. Train your focus. I promise you your feelings will follow. Your feelings have been coming from your focus. Your lack of focus, your negative focus is why you have negative feelings. You have to give yourself permission for this to function like a light switch, because that's how it functions. Don't listen to the media. Don't listen to the news that you can't control your feelings. That's a lie. It's just like a spoiled little child that needs discipline, right? That child needs discipline. And whatever you discipline or you disciple or you train, these are all the same words, you know? That is what is going to be strong. Whatever you exercise is going to be strong. This generation has not been trained to make their feelings submit, right? There is something that is a priority thing. So they're being led by their feelings, and then they're practicing pacifiers, and then they don't understand why their outcome is so sloppy and so unsatisfying. And now then they have to keep going in the counterproductive direction of failure. And to me, failure is something that you learn from. I don't see failure as a destination. I see failure as a teacher, right? Like pain. Pain is just telling you something. It's an indicator, right? Like you said, and I see young people, some millennials. I'm going to defend the millennials because my nonprofit is about the young adults. I love young adults. I believe that that's the core age that the cement has not yet solidified, and there is a disconnect, like he was saying, between the elderly, the seniors that have had the experiences, right? Some of them still never developed, unfortunately. They stopped developing at either third grade or in their 20s or whatever, and they're underdeveloped. And I've seen some millennials, they have surpassed some 60-year-olds maturity level. So that's how you can tell maturity is something that you train and you develop, right? Your relationships, your satisfaction, you need to be sober to your sensitivity level. You should not be super sensitive if somebody says, I don't like teal shirts. Oh my goodness. I mean, this should not trigger an emotion, right? It is okay that we don't agree at surface level stuff. It is okay that we may never agree at surface level stuff. But the bottom line is this. At the core, we're all human beings. At the core, we have certain basic innate needs. We're all struggling, guys, right? We're all struggling in one area or another. We either just got out of a bad situation or we're going through a bad situation or we're about to go into a bad situation. Welcome to planet Earth, right? It is a humbling process. That's why we need each other. That's why we need to humble ourselves. So I'm going to dive into this really quick so I can get you guys out of here. My goodness, you guys have been one of the most interactive trainings I've ever done. And I love it. And that means that you guys are engaged. That means that you guys are interested. That means you guys are getting something from this. It makes me very happy. So I know I'm supposed to be teaching about conflict resolution, but I want to get you to fall in love on how conflict produces resolution, right? I want you to see conflict for what it is. Opportunity to develop, opportunity to train, opportunity to optimize, right? Opportunity to build relationship. So here in this training, I'm going to give you clarity, philosophy, and strategy. And I'm going to show you how conflict is going to bring out a breath of life and the hero in your success story. And you are the hero in your success story, right? So I want you guys to look at this. Count how many F's that you see and lift up how many fingers, how many F's you see. I'm going to take the screen off in a few seconds. Put how many fingers, how many F's you see. Let me see your fingers. Show them up. Show them up. Higher. Show them up. Show them up. I haven't seen the answer yet. Show them up. I haven't seen the answer yet. Show them up. The brain is lazy and the brain needs to be trained. I still don't see the answer. Lift up. I still don't see the answer. I still don't see the answer. It's vital. There's more. There's 6 F's in there. Thank you, sir. You got the right answer. The brain is designed to do the least amount of effort to give you an answer. That's why it is important that you're intentional and train your brain. So listen, this is a quick little exercise so you not to be so arrogant and so quick to judge people. Don't because, I've seen this and I've seen them do that. No, wait. Give yourself permission to humble yourself, to get a different perspective, to get someone else to give you a different perspective. Most conflicts come from, I call it the 96, right? I draw a 9 here. And to you, you're like, Sandra, that's a 6. And I'm like, no, man, it's a 9. And we're going back and forth, back and forth. Guess when we're going to see what it really is? When either I get on her side and put my arm around her shoulder and I'm like, oh my goodness, sis, you're right. It is a 6. From your perspective, from your position, you're absolutely right. It is a 6. But let me show you something. Come stand with me. Put your arms around me. Let me show you how I'm struggling. Let me show you my point of view. And she's going to be like, wow, it's a 9. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Most conflicts are surface level misunderstandings. Give yourself permission. Don't be so arrogant to think you know it all. Don't think what you saw or what you think you've seen is accurate. Ask questions. Get a different perspective. Get someone that can see from a different viewpoint. It's like if I put a statue in the middle of this room and I make one person lay down and describe it. And I make one person sit on the chair and describe it. And I make someone climb a ladder and describe it. The person on the ladder is going to be saying a different thing than the person laying on the floor. The person on the floor is going to be like, Sandra, I see toes. This is a stupid exercise. Why are you making me look at the toes of a statue? The person sitting in the chair is going to be like, this is just perverted. Why am I looking at the butt of a statue? This is a terrible statue. And then the person on the ladder is going to be like, this is a beautiful statue. This is a face of David. What a beautiful statue of David. Thank you for showing this to me. Based on your position is what's giving you your perspective. Do you understand what I'm telling you? You may not see what other people are seeing because you're in a different position. Give grace. Give yourself permission before you quick to judge, quick to argue, quick to fight. Try to win that battle. Play the long game. Ask the other person, explain to me, share with me how and why you see it this way, right? This is how you build relationship. This is how you develop as a human being. The brain is good but limited. That exercise provided that, right? That proved it, right? Focus on the win by replacing the stubborn assumption story. You know, the hypothesis is an educated guess. That's when you've proven accurate facts. Facts have been tested several times and proven to be accurate. And then you make an educated guess based on those facts. An assumption is an emotional guess. An assumption is when you're feeling good, you just ate real good food, or you're tired, and your emotions are interpreting what you think you see. Don't make assumptions in this workplace. Don't make assumptions in your life. Ask questions. Seek a different perspective. Knock on somebody else's heart and say, man, let me see it from your viewpoint. This is going to give you not only a higher standard, but it's going to build value in yourself and it's going to build value in your relationships. The core values that I use, again, humility, asking for clarity, right? Integrity, seeking first to understand before I'm trying to be understood, right? If I come to you and I'm trying to make you understand me and I'm in my emotions because I didn't sleep last night, I was Netflixing and chilled too much. I was flipping through fake books, right? And wasting all this time. So I come to work, I'm exhausted, I'm frustrated, I'm overwhelmed, and now I want you to understand me. No, that's not the proper order of honor. When I'm communicating with you, I need to understand you. And once I understand you, then I hope you give me grace so you can better understand me. This is how you build relationship. This is how you develop the next level. And then maturity is knocking down obstacles. You will knock down obstacles by being a person of wisdom, right? Being a person that says, just because I can doesn't mean I should, right? This person wants to fight me. This person wants to yell at me about this is a 9, and I'm convinced this is a 6, right? Maturity says, you know what? I can see this as an obstacle, but I'm going to use this obstacle and use it as an obstacle course to develop. I'm going to use this obstacle and use it as an opportunity to build relationship. He wants to fight me. I'm not going to fight him. I woke up early today. I poured something positive in my cup. I came to work with more than enough wisdom, love, hope, peace. So when he comes to fight me, because I don't know what's going on from his position, he might have just gotten into a bad situation. He might have found out something happened to his family or his pet or his finances or something that's dear to him. So his war within is trying to provoke a war with me. But because my cup is full, I have more than enough to share with him. Hey, man, let me see it from your viewpoint. I ask questions, right? I seek to understand him. And then I use every obstacle as opportunity, as an obstacle course to develop relationship, right? Now, I talked about how, being the hero in your story. My book is all about embracing the side of you that you're the hero in your story. I'm the hero in my success story. And by me embracing that every day, I take full responsibility for the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? And I manage that. And I win the war from within when I embrace that I'm the hero in my story. Now, do I invite superheroes in my story? Absolutely. I keep myself surrounded by mentors and people that are way more successful than me, people that are smarter than me, people that are stronger than me, right? I keep myself surrounded by coaches and trainers to develop my blind spots, to develop and hold me accountable to make sure I don't get too comfortable, right? And I acknowledge and I admit that there is another side to me, right? Even though I am the hero in my story, but there's that other side of me that's really lazy and whiny and self-centered and self-righteous and want to play the blame game that no one wins, right? By me embracing the two sides of the coin of who I am, what that does is it gives me back my power. And my definition of power is influence, impact, and authority, right? So Mission Impossible is reminding you, no matter what you think your mission is, which we talked about it before, you need to have a mission. We were designed to conquer. We were designed to be fruitful and to multiply and to conquer what we believe is the priority thing, where we believe is our why, all right? Or who we think we are. We were designed to leave a legacy, right? So my book is designed to get you to not only get excited and expecting the best, but preparing for the best. And that's the distinction between a wise person versus a foolish person. A wise person is sober and reality too. I'm on this timeline with a deadline, and my deadline is going to come eventually. It's unavoidable. It is the inevitable. I might as well be intentional and strategic on preparing for that. I might as well embrace that conflict needs to first be conquered from within before I try to conquer and defeat conflict with other people, right? So isn't life about bringing and building value? At least a good life. A good life is about bringing and building value, right? This is what builds relationships, right? We have relationships on the vertical and we have stewardship, right? We talked about that earlier. My husband is the head and I'm the heart. We're not supposed to be competing. We're supposed to be completing, touching and agreeing, and birthing out the best things together because we bring out the best in one another, right? And same things with relationship and with stewardship. Managing your time, managing your portion. This is very, very important. And I love this quote from Zig Ziglar. It says, no one cares how much you know until they know how much you care, right? No one likes a know-it-all anyway, because no one knows it all. That's why everyone hates a know-it-all, right? Let me tell you what everyone loves. Love. We're all craving to be honored and accepted and appreciated and loved. Innate. These are core level issues. This is where we connect. This is where we can agree. This is where everyone says, at the depth of me, I need more hope, faith, and love, right? This is where no one will argue with you about. If I say, hey man, listen, and sometimes people don't want to hear it because they've been so hurt so many times, they don't believe that you want to give them hope, faith, and love because of the trauma and the pain and the past is such a tormentor and they've not let it go. So what happens is you're going to have to be patient with them. Your cup is going to have to be running over so much that every day you just let them experience a little bit of your joy, a little bit of your love, a little bit of your hope. And eventually what's going to happen is their concrete heart that this world has pained and traumatized, eventually you will water it and it will become softer a little bit more every day. It is a process to show people you actually care and they don't think that you're trying to do a pyramid scheme on them and invite them to your MLM or whatever, right? People want to know how much you care, right? So another common denominator, everyone has needs, struggle, and success. We've all been successful at some level, right? Taught yourself how to crawl, taught yourself how to talk, right? These things, everyone is in training, everyone's in authority, everybody's under authority. These are common denominators. These are the things that you need to find a common ground in, right? These are the 7 main innate cravings, right? We crave belongingness, optimizing actualization, meaning we want to optimize our potential. We have these biological, physiological needs, cognitive needs, aesthetic, safety, esteem, right? These things, guys, there's so much that we have in common. But if you watch the 6 o'clock bad news enough, you're going to think that everyone's against you. You're going to think we're so different. You're going to think the bald heads and the hair heads are against each other, right? Here's the reality. At that surface level, we're not the same. And that's okay. And that's good, because life would be boring if we all looked alike, right? Life would be boring if we didn't have some variety. I like my Skittles bag with different flavors, right? But at the core level, we're all M&Ms, right? Surface level, we're Skittles. Core level, we're M&Ms. And when you respect that and you honor that, it will not only develop you as a human being, it will develop your relationships, it will develop everything that you want. Everyone is unique, seeking humility, integrity, and maturity. And, let me prove to you really quick why I choose him as my core values. I've never met anyone that doesn't want to be in a relationship with their child, their spouse, their friend, their business partner, their coworkers. And that relationship, they want that other person to be humble, honest. They want that person to not stab them in the back. They want that person to be mature, meaning when there's a different opportunity, they're not going to cheat on their spouse, right? Everybody's craving humility, integrity, and maturity, right? This is something innate. This is core level connections, right? And when you honor and you respect these core values, and again, you create your own core values. These are my core values. I'm just giving you an example so you can see what has worked for me. You need to figure out what your core values are. Who do you want to be? I want to be a person of humility, integrity, maturity. And I notice the more I get closer to my core values, the more I practice my core values, the more bliss I experience, because I'm aligning with who I am and who I want to be. When those two things touch and agree, they birth out this level of bliss, this level of satisfaction, this level of success that nothing and no one can ever take from me. No one can ever. I know what it's like to be making 6 figures and have 6 figures in my 401k and have the BMW I ordered from Germany and have all the shiny stuff, the plastic, metal, and wood. I call it dead things. And all the dying people were singing my praises. Man, Sandra, you're in your 20s and look what you're doing. Look what you've done. Look what you have accomplished. And I'm like, man, I'm miserable. What are you talking about? I have to drink to go to sleep. They're like, no, Sandra, like, look, you're in your 20s. Look what you're driving. Look at your house. You custom built your house. You did this and you did. No. There's something wrong. I don't like myself. I'm using pacifiers just to feel normal. And what happened is no one had any core answers for me about my core issues. And this is why I had to stop, take a break from dating, taking a break from everything, stopping, reevaluating who I am and who I want to be, right? And rebuild with a quality foundation, right? Which I chose humility to be my foundation. I chose integrity to be my structure, my backbone. When pressure shows back up, when challenges show back up, I'm ready. I've been training. I train every day. Every opportunity, I find it as, every obstacle to me is an opportunity for training to develop myself closer into humility, integrity, maturity. So it is a scary thing if you read this. Everybody wants sincerely to be heard and understood, compassionately felt, appreciated, accepted, respectfully honored, yielding to enjoying life more. This is something we all innately crave. You see how much alike we are at the core level? We're very similar, guys. We're not that different. But it's a scary thing to admit this. It's a scary thing to acknowledge it. So what's the real cost of not resolving conflict? Look at this. There's personal costs, there's company costs, there's community costs. Let me tell you a secret. The government can't save us. Let me tell you something. I don't care how great the government is. I don't care how great the president is or whatever you think, surface level stuff that you cannot control. Why are you focusing on things you cannot control? Why are you making this your hope? This is a self-sabotage behavior. You're setting yourself up to be very frustrated and very overwhelmed. And then now you're going to go to pacifiers to pacify your pain. No. Internal conflict is costing you personally. It's costing you where you work. It's costing your community. The solution is from within. The war is from within. And this is what I'm here to get you guys excited about, because that's where your power is. That's where your freedom is. That's where your bliss is. When you stop playing the blame game, no one wins that game, by the way, right? No one wins that. No one has ever won that game, right? When I start with embracing, how do I feel and think about conflict? So, like we said, conflict and change, inevitable, unavoidable, pressure, unavoidable, right? Death, unavoidable. These things that are unavoidable, why aren't we training and preparing for them, right? Why are we fake booking? Why are we wasting time looking at things and focusing on things that we cannot change or control? Self-sabotaging. Who in their right minds likes the struggle of conflict? So there's two different types of mindsets, right? Are you solution-driven or are you feel-driven? Fear-driven is the what-if voice. We both have both, guys. Don't get it twisted. Don't look at me like I'm a monster. We have both. I have both inside of me. You know, back in the 80s, they used to say, oh, there's an angel on one side and a devil on the other side. Whatever. I don't care what you call it, all right? But inside of us, there's a what-if voice and there's an even-if voice. If you're not feeding the even-if voice, if you're not feeding the warrior inside of you, you're gonna let the villain, right? The villain side of you, the what-if negative voice, eat away at your life, eat away at your time, eat away at your potential, right? Fear is toxic, okay? False fear, right? I'm not saying there's not things that you need to be sober to and aware. I'm talking about focus, guys. Success is contagious. So the negative side is when you value problems more than solutions, when you value conflict over peaceful connection with people. You guys ever met somebody that we were talking about thermometers earlier? They always just looking for the dirt. They're like an iRobot. Man, did you hear about that negative stuff? Hey, did you hear? They always looking for the dirt. Man, that guy wears his mask wrong. You know? Man, I don't like it when people wear glasses on their head. They're always looking for the dirt. Here's the reality. We're all wrapped in dirt. We all live on dirt, and we're surrounded by people that's constantly making dirty decisions. You're looking for dirt, you're going to find dirt. There are more pebbles than there are diamonds, right? Where are the gems and the rubies? They're hidden deep. You need to go deeper. You need to press through the pressure points to find the good stuff, right? Stay away from the negative Neds, the thermometers, the blame gamers. These, they're not people, they're mindsets. And you can inspire a higher mindset by being the solution that you want to see. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't want you to think, oh, those negative people, I'm going to stay away from those negative people. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you don't need to take a break from them. I'm saying make sure you're building and filling your cup till you have more than enough. So when you're around the thermometers that want to tell you how cold it is or how hot it is and tell you how much the Jaguars suck, right? And they don't want to add any value, right? The negative withdrawal people, right? I call them the inhalers. They don't ever want to exhale, right? They only want to find problems, which is easy and lazy to do. Okay, so here's the number ones, right? The number ones, I called the last people the number twos. Forgive me. The number ones need success for all right? They want everyone to be successful. Nelson Mandela said, I couldn't change others until I changed myself. How easy is it to change yourself? It's not easy. Why are you trying to change others? Why are you doing that? That's self-sabotaging. Stop trying to change people. Change yourself. Become the thermometer. Set the temperature of greatness in the atmosphere. I promise you, people will step up or step out. You don't have to block people on Facebook. They'll block themselves. They'll delete. Let me tell you something. Judas kills himself. Just in case if you don't know how it ends. Okay? The people that are out to do you dirty, do you shady, hurt you, I promise you, they have something on the inside of them. The eye disease is so self-sabotaging. They're going to eventually eliminate themselves. Don't quit this job because there's one negative Ned or one thermometer that likes to find the dirt and complain how cold or how hot it is. No, you be the thermostat. You set the temperature. You set the atmosphere. You be the one that is solution-driven, laser-focused on the target, on the goal, on the vision of the company. You said, let them talk about you. They're going to talk if you lose weight. Oh, look at Sandra, man, she lost weight. What is she doing? Look at Sandra, she gained weight. What is she? They're going to talk about you if you're rich or if you're poor. When I was homeless with my 2 kids, they talked about me. When I was making money, they talked about me. They're going to talk about you. That's how you know you're making impact, guys. People are going to talk. The thermometers are going to complain. They're dirt finders. They're going to find the dirt. So here we go. The secure and mature, they think different. These are the number ones. Successful people who stay a student and lover of learning. They're the starters. They train themselves and others to honor one another. They acknowledge and admit they are not perfect. They remain humble, hungry, and hardworking. It takes nothing. They take nothing personal. I don't take things personal. I remember when I used to work for BMW, and my voice is a little raspy right now, but I used to have clients sometimes, and I used to sell them on the phone. I was the internet sales manager. So on the phone, I'd build a relationship with these people, right? And when they would come pick up their BMW, they already paid for it. They already did everything. And they saw me. They're like, you're not Sandra. Who are you? You know? I didn't take it personal. I already got my commission. You understand? No problem, ma'am, sir. It happened to me so many times. No problem. Let me get you someone that can help you. And I would get someone else on what they surface level expected, right? And I met that need. I didn't take it personal, right? We cannot be super sensitive to what other people think or say. Everybody's on their own journey. Everybody's in a different place. I don't know why they were expecting me to look, I guess they thought I was going to be older. I don't know. But whatever they expected, it was false expectations because they didn't want to touch me and they didn't want to do business with me. No big deal. I already got paid. You know what I'm saying? It's just business. Even though we had this great relationship over the phone, but in person, I met their false expectations. We can't take things personal. Healthy people desire and exercise healthy results, guys. There's a pattern here. Healthy people desire and exercise healthy results. Whatever you feed will grow. Whatever you starve will die. Whatever you exercise is getting stronger. All right? This is not rocket science. Never panic. Conflict is normal for messy mortals. It's part of the package. All right? Again, we live on dirt. We're wrapped in dirt. People are making dirty decisions. Let's move forward. Conflict is opportunity to develop. It's important to understand clearly what caused and will resolve the conflict, right? Why did the conflict occur and how can we learn from it? Remember, the questions are going to produce your focus. Your focus is what's going to produce your feelings and how you're going to function, right? So ask questions. Ask quality questions. Ask questions that will bring quality answers, right? Listen to understand the real issues versus the fake distractions, right? There is counterfeit conflicts, guys. And when I say conflicts, I'm talking about distractions outside of your prosperity blueprint. If people are coming to argue with you about things that does not align with your core values or what the values of the company, don't waste your time. Let them win. Do you understand what I'm telling you? When things don't align up with why you're here at work to build the company. You're here alive to build yourself, to build others, right? When people are coming to you to argue with you, grape jelly is better than strawberry jelly. You know what you should say? So would you like me to buy you some? Don't argue with them. These are counterfeit conflicts. These are just distraction. I call them noise, right? We're almost done. Never be accusatory. This is the strategy, guys. Here's the solution. I understand blank. I am grateful for blank. It would help our mutual goal of blank if we blank. See, when you are going to someone to resolve a conflict, use these three main elements. Go with, I understand, meaning you have to understand what they're saying. Don't even open your mouth. If they're coming to fight with you, if grape jelly is better than strawberry jelly, start with, okay, I understand. You find grape jelly very valuable. I like grape juice, right? I'm grateful for you. You bring a really great value to the company, right? You want to add value to what they're saying. You want to show them that you're listening to them. And it would help our mutual goal of this company to focus on things that line up with the vision of the company, right? Let's not get distracted on surface level stuff. And not every argument is a counterfeit. Some conflict needs to be resolved. When they are issues, we need to go ahead and face and fix these problems. You don't want to neglect. You know how you're in your house and somebody decides, oh, the milk is bad. Let me put it back in the fridge. No. Because now that little milk that was bad, that you put back in the fridge and you ignored it, 6 months from now, you got to throw away the fridge, right? It's now a science project, right? This fungus has grown all over the fridge and deteriorated because when you let things fester and you don't resolve things when it's in seed form, it can grow to consume, like you said, weeds, your whole garden, your whole world, your whole circle of influence. So when you do see a core issue, something that does have value, something that is within your prosperity blueprint, that is within the vision board, and you see that it is an issue, we need to address the issue, right? We talked about assertiveness. So calmly explain one specific of what behavior must be replaced with because of the behavior I felt blank. What I need to feel blank is for you to blank. What do you need from me? See how that exchanges? It's inhale, exhale. So I'm understanding you. Okay, let me go ahead and share my point of view, right? Now, this is how what you did made me feel, right? Feelings do have value, guys, all right? You don't want to lead with feelings. You don't want to be driven by feelings. You do have to address your feelings because your feelings are coming from your focus. And it could be a legitimate issue that you don't want to fester long enough, right? Too long. Because that can not only destroy the relationship, it can destroy and contaminate the whole company like a cancer, right? Divide and conquer. So the successful approach to get what I want, and that's the cool thing about conflict. Conflict helps you get what you want. Conflict helps you get everyone towards the goal. If you handle it properly, if you don't go with emotion and you go with logic and you go solution driven and you go pre-forgiving, right? So you want to go honorably and boldly. These is the two sides I call balance. It's the two sides of the coin that's good, not yin and yang. No. Two opposite things that are both good, right? When you go honorably and boldly, you need both. This is what's going to address the conflict. This is what's going to resolve the conflict. This is what's going to build your character. It's going to build the relationship. It's going to build the company, right? Honor, to me, is honest and humbly. Boldly is clean and clear. Don't go passively. Don't go like a little smiling. Well, no. Let's go ahead and address this issue right now. Let's not let it fester. Let's face it and fix it. And let this build our relationship. Let this build our character. Leaders listen to understand. We're almost done. The core problem is solution. So quality leadership is to listen to understand. We need to honor one another. So here's one more time. We're almost done. Quick 3 steps. This is the script and strategy. I hope you guys are writing this down. This stuff is going to change your life. This thing will change every relationship that you're having. Relationship with yourself, relationship with your children, your boss, your coworkers. When blank occurs, I feel blank. I'd like your help by blank. This quick little script is solution driven and it'll help you resolve conflict, all right? There's different tactics of resolving conflict, and none of them are wrong. They're just different. You need to study them, and you need to figure out which one is best for you and which one's best for your team, right? Practice it. Rehearse on yourself. So my favorite strategy is collaboration. I like to build win-win relationships. I like to bring win-win situations to it, okay? There is a time to avoid a counterfeit conflict. There's a time to accommodate. There's time to collaborate. There's a time to compromise. There's a time to dominate, all right? And you have to train yourself and do research on when is the best time. And again, whatever you practice, you're going to get great at, right? Practice makes precision. Practice makes professionals, all right? So these are just the different types. But the bottom line is this. Courageously compliment and complete. Don't complain or compete. Remember, it's not a competition, guys. Go for the win-win. It's important that you give yourself permission to acknowledge what's important now. That's my acronym for WIN. What's important now, right? And play the long game. Don't try to win every battle. Win the war. Win the war of trying to prove to everyone that you know it all. You don't know it all, right? So listen, that's pretty much my presentation. I just wanted to just encourage you guys to go for the win-win. This is a great company. This is a great opportunity that you guys can continue to develop and build each other, but it starts from within. Thank you for your time.